Well, tonight we're going to be talking about the script for Jurassic World Rebirth and maybe a little bit about Pteranodon Flyers, all that and more. I am Brad Jost, and this is Let's Talk Jurassic. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Let's Talk Jurassic. As I said, I am Brad Jost, and we're going to be talking all about that script that David Koepp released over on his website. But you know what? We're going to get straight into it because today we have a nice guest joining us last minute here. Because I'm like, you know what? I got to talk about the script. And I know somebody's read it at least a little bit, and we got to dive into that. So let's welcome in. I have no button for this, so I got to find out where I put it. Let's welcome in my guest for today. I don't know if the titles are right on this. I forget which one I changed it on. I think it's this one, maybe. Muzzamil, yes, there it is. Welcome back to the live stream. Glad to have you here. How has Jurassic been treating you recently? Any good?
It's been a lull, but you kind of make do with whatever morsels you get.
You know, I've been wondering about that. I'm like, how much of a lull is it? Is it me just like being upset that I have nothing to talk about for finally the first time in like 11 years now on the show? Or is it like really that bone dry that there's just nothing going on? I've been wondering if it was just me.
Yeah. Because we had such a huge momentum going last year, and then this year, it's relatively a significant drop. But otherwise, I'm sure they're cooking something up, and it's best that they take their time to develop.
I hope so. I feel like it's like week after week, I'm like expecting something to drop. It always feels like they're leading up to something, and then nothing. Silence.
Yeah.
Leading up to something. Nope, nothing. So I've gotten my hopes up a bunch of times here, but at least we have like, little drops from like Beyond the Gates and Mattel and stuff like that. We get this script popping up, which is like anytime something happens, it's like, wow, okay, finally, we've got something to talk about here. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. So let's just open up the notebook here and see what we can find, because David Koepp, if anybody did not know, he released this over on his website, davidkoepp.com. Let me pull up some Jurassic news for everybody. You can see right here, davidkoepp.com. He's got an archive over there. And let me go back. You can see all kinds of stuff in here. Look, Lost World, Jurassic Park, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Oh my gosh, there's lots. Men in Black 3, Mission Impossible. So the list goes on. But yeah, we're here to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth and any potential changes. This is the final script, right? Is that what the idea is here? That's what it says. It says final. But let me pull up, because I have to actually go somewhere else to pull up the actual script. So when you were diving into this script, what did you find that was maybe the most interesting or most different from? And I know you don't have a lot of time today, so we'll try to get through it. Let me know as soon as you got to go. Oh, I just put you on for some reason, and your name is not Brad. We'll get back to it. Oh, there it is. Oh, now I'm changing all over the place. Here we go. This is what it's like here. It's chaotic and a mess. What did you find the most interesting out of the script changes here?
I think what I noticed is that they could have alluded more to the Jurassic World era. Like, there are some dates that are mentioned that I feel like they could have just added. They don't really talk so much about, that opening, spiel of what is going on, and like the loopholes that we see, the plot holes that we see about like what happened in the 10 years. And then they kind of confuse between, is this more park related or is this more world related? I feel like this script kind of elaborated on that more. And then I think, like others have mentioned, there's some deleted sequences in there. I think some could have worked, others not so much. And then like the main problem that I had with the movie still is in the script, which is just like the mutadons and the D-Rex. I feel like they didn't it didn't really give enough screen time because you only really see the impact towards the beginning and the end. That's
Yeah, so
pretty much it.
let me get your thoughts because I don't think we've really talked about it too much here on the show, but in the chat and stuff, I've surely seen it. But like, what were your initial thoughts on And by the way, did you see it before seeing it? Because we saw it together at one point. Did you
Yeah, that
see it
was my
before
first
that?
time.
That was the first time. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice to just see it in the theater because you get that audience kind of collective reaction. And I think part of what just made it worthwhile is having that additional commentary at the
Oh, for
end
sure.
with Gareth and Frank. So, um, kind of getting a little extra insight on like what were they thinking of doing or
Hmm.
changing up. So they did kind of let us know ahead of time that they were thinking of maybe, spoiler alert, potentially killing off Duncan, but then they kind of uh, gave those alternative takes. And I feel like they toyed around with those ideas. But for my reaction with the movie itself, like I had a fun time because of the thrill aspect. Like I felt like it tonally was closer to the original trilogy. I think the world films are a lot of fun, just like building on the lore
Hmm.
in exciting ways. I feel like that's opened up a whole new frontier with things. But like um, what we saw with Rebirth, I feel like they're trying to course correct a little bit, a little too hard, um, and that's kind of that kind of gives that mixed reaction. So like, I'm hoping even with what we saw with the DreamWorks shows, like they can pull off a lot of um, the supplementary things that were relatively unseasoned. With Dominion, it's like a pretty huge, ambitious project, but like
Hmm.
I feel like they could have spent some time a little bit here and there. But like I think Chaos Theory kind of nailed that, and I feel like they could learn
Sure.
from that. Yeah.
I know. I keep hoping Scott's like right around the corner to help out with Rebirth in any way,
Hmm.
just to iron out some details, let me know. But you had mentioned kind of right off the bat there the Duncan part. So I did pull that up here, and the script is actually interesting because it gives you so here they are, Zora's yelling Duncan at the end of the movie. Kincaid says, "Oh, look at this. Yeah, I like this." Um, let's see. The Distortus roars. Kincaid hesitates for a second, but then makes his choice. He starts down the right path, then changes his mind, takes the left one instead. He crunches through a dense bunch of mangroves and comes to a clearing where the Distortus Rex stands just 10 feet in front of him. It stares him down. Kincaid freezes, trapped. He looks up at the gigantic thing. In his hands, the flare sputters and dies. Kincaid, bad luck. The Distortus roars and snaps its head forward. Just as Kincaid dives to the side in the deep water, he disappears under the surface. Distortus looks around for him for a moment, then plunges his head into the water after him. It thrashes violently, ripping and tearing whatever's under the surface. Foam, water, and mud fly everywhere. Mercifully, we don't see the rest. So that's seemingly like, hey, that's the end of Duncan Kincaid, right? That's what I'm gathering
Yeah.
here. Zora's yelling Duncan, just like she does a bunch of times. Zora, Duncan. Of course, there's no answer. And Pontoon, they look back at the island. Yeah, and it just kind of that's where they go. They take their way out of the island just like they do in the movie, and that's the end of him. And then there is this alternate ending, which is I think what we actually did get in the movie, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I find that interesting. Like what would you have rather have seen him die off in this moment, or do you think the one that we got was the best option? And why do you think they went with this alternate?
I kind of would have liked a mix of the two because there's like a brief kind of description in there where it's saying like the Distortus is actually going after them, and then that's when they kind of start the boat. So I feel like in that moment, if like just when they're leaving, then they see the flare, then that kind of adds an extra element of thrill. I feel like the
Okay.
way that they ended with just Duncan facing the Distortus and then we don't really see it again. Um, I feel like um, we could have had something a little more thrilling at the end.
Yeah, I think sometimes, right, Jurassic kind of struggles with their endings. It's been a ongoing thing. I think with like Jurassic Park 3 definitely struggled. While I love The Lost World, I do think a lot of people think, oh, that struggled with its ending. Jurassic Park, pretty strong ending, pretty strong ending. But yeah, I know, a lot of people don't like the world films, but hey, I think this is a good ending for what we got. I think there could have been more like of a battle or anything else going on at the end of this movie to really ramp up some of that tension and excitement, but I'm happy with what we ended up getting. So for
Yeah,
me, I think having Duncan live at the end works pretty well for me. I'm happy with that.
yeah. Overall, it was a feel good kind of ending, anyway.
Yeah, and I wonder like did they do it for story reasons or did they do it because they liked him and they want to get him back for another movie? What do you think there? Do you think it was like a story or hey, the actor's here, maybe he'd want to do more?
I mean, it's possible. Like, because then again, it's like it's so hard to really tell. Like, do they want all three to return for a sequel,
I know, right?
or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So let's see. There's other parts here that could be interesting. You had mentioned the raptor sequence still would have worked. Now, is there another alternate spot here that I can look at for raptors?
I I think it's there. Um, they do even mention that dialogue that we saw in the trailer of like, "Please don't say the Raptors," and then
Oh yeah.
Loomis is saying the Raptors. That's in there. I think it's pretty much the same dialogue from the deleted scene too. So like,
Yeah, so here it is right here. It says two dinosaurs are crouched 20 feet away. There's no mistaking a bipedal predator when we see one. And these are big ones, 8 feet from nose to tail. They snarl. The group freezes, terrified. Xavier, please don't say they're raptors. Loomis, they're raptors. Zora, we're in there. The raptors snarl and hiss. They move to either side of the group and advance. Koepp raises his gun and points it at them. At the same time, there is a sudden roar, but it's not another animal. It's the geothermal power generator in the building nearby, kicking into gear on a rotating timer. It says, and the raptors freeze, their heads snapping to look into the jungle to the right of them. They let off a tiny whimper and run off at top speed. So yeah, that's interesting. Where was this in the actual film?
like this is when the Mutadons are arriving at the gas station.
Okay, so it's like literally what we're seeing out of the deleted sequence, right? So the deleted
Mhm.
sequence is on the DVD or on the digital copy or whatever. And that scene to me, it works okay. I don't think it necessarily would have added anything. My my personal feeling is that the extended Mutadon scene was actually way better. And I would have rather had the extended Mutadon scene than necessarily having this raptor scene, but I think I think we all would have loved to have at least seen the Raptors one more time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
shame.
I think where I'm kind of going at it is that with the Mutadons and the Distortus, and just really any mutated dinosaurs out there on the island, I feel like it would have been cool to see how they impacted the ecosystem. Like, did
Mhm.
the seemingly normal dinosaurs, the ones like the raptors, the titanosaurs, or anything else, did they fear these animals, or you don't really get a sense of that because they're really just kind of like localized within this final act.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, we don't get to see any of that, which is, yeah, I don't know if we would have ever really gotten that at all at any point, but Camp Cretaceous did it so well with the Scorpius Rex that they
Hmm.
showcased it throughout like almost that entire season of like, hey, these dinosaurs are acting a little weird and we don't know why. And I think this would have been that perfect opportunity. That's why I'm always just praising, Scott and all the writing crew, Bethany, everybody over there that really just knows how to make sure that dinosaurs are acting appropriately and hybrids are acting appropriately. I think that would have been a pretty cool thing to see in a live action film. Would have been, wow, these dinosaurs are doing something weird. I mean, there's that moment where Xavier kind of he's like, maybe we'll go that way in this direction. And he's like, well, maybe not that one or whatever. And the dinosaurs kind of run through the jungle. Like, so they do have little moments like that of dinosaurs on the move. But like, if they had maybe attributed that to some other thing, that would have been kind of cool. And it actually had nothing to do with Xavier. That would have been at least one point we could have put something in there. Or, it maybe if there was like the Mutadons or the Distortus were like the catalyst for almost all of these encounters that we had, it could have
Hmm.
been an interesting play as well. Like the Distortus roars and the Titanosaurs wake up, and that's when we start to see the Titanosaurs, or the Distortus messes with the Quetzalcoatlus or something like that, and that's when they start to get all riled up and fly up in the sky and attack the group. But yeah, there's none of that kind of interaction with anything other than the Mutadons just taking out the raptors really quick. So missed opportunity for me for sure.
Yeah.
But personally, I would have loved to have seen a raptor like attack on the Mutadons. I would have loved to have seen a little bit of payback there. It doesn't
Yeah,
seem
that
like
would
there's
have
any
been
hint of
cool.
that here. The payphone rings. Yeah, is this part? I don't know if the extended part is in here or not, but
Might have
but
been. I skimmed through
yeah,
that.
that extended part was really cool. Let's see there's a juvenile T-Rex part in here as well, right? So
Yeah.
let's see, where would that be? Bear with me.
He even coins it as the J-Rex.
Oh, J-Rex. What?
Yeah.
J-Rex. I don't know if it's going to come up right away. I mean, there's
Just
a dash J-Rex. Oh, I can't type
you can
J-Rex.
just do juvenile and it should pop up.
Juvenile T-Rex. Yeah, it says here, Teresa starts ahead towards the shed. The riverbank is thick with mud, and her foot makes a slooping sound with every step. She moves ahead, every step a racket. The sound and rounds the bend. As she nears the corner, she hears a rustling sound and turns. On the far bank, a juvenile T-Rex, 4 or 5 feet high, has tentatively comes tentatively out of the jungle, sniffing at the edge of the dead hadrosaur that's just coming into view. Teresa freezes. The J Rex looks up sharply right at her. She bends down slowly, picks up a rock, and chucks it at the thing. The J Rex darts back into the jungle. So, yeah, that's funny. J
Yeah.
Rex. I personally think that would have been awesome. I don't know why we had to go for the familiar Dilophosaurs other than the fact that like you want to get a little pop from the audience, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like this kind of goes into maybe like animal behavior and stuff. Like I was thinking maybe had Teresa done that with the juvenile T-Rex, it could have alerted the adult as if the adult were the parent, and like you're threatening um, my kid here, so it's like wakes up and then basically marking the territory over there. It would have been an interesting kind of territorial display for the adult T-Rex.
Yeah, I feel like in the book there doesn't seem to be any kind of like love or anything towards the juvenile and the adult Rex, right? It just kind of like snaps at it and roars at it and scares it away, right? Or something along those
Hmm.
lines. So it doesn't necessarily feel like, hey, Dad, I'm over here. Somebody's coming. Uh, so I don't know. I feel like we would have understood. We would have gotten the hint that like, oh, maybe these two aren't friendly or something. It's just some
Yeah.
other juvenile T Rex, and I would have loved to have seen that. And it would have been nice to have a pop for like the young Rex again, like from the juvenile Rex from the Lost World. That would have been awesome. I think people would have probably went crazier for that than a Dilophosaurus.
Hmm.
To me, there's just like a lot of expectations with a Dilophosaurus, right? I mean, I feel like you're expecting it to do a lot of things. So there's that.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that was interesting to you out of this? I know you had mentioned something about theme park people. Where theme park?
Yeah. I think you can look that up, theme park
Yeah.
people. I think they
Let's see. Three.
specifically say that.
Yeah, it says here, Krebs, the combination of species, the theme park people were just responding to the audience. They got bored with the same old thing, engineered entertainments, they called them. Yeah, I don't think he doesn't mention theme park people in the movie, right? That's
Yeah.
definitely different. But yeah,
So it's
is
just
there?
that slight wording feels like they could have added it.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's always like these little issues that we have with like just connecting the dots a little bit further. If they had just said like, is there any combination of original park? Yeah, original park. Krebs says Mosasaur mostly circles the island we're headed to. There's a complex there that was R&D for the original park. It was abandoned after the accident. So that sounds to be about the same as the line from the film, right?
Yeah.
And the original park is only mentioned once, which is interesting because we definitely got it more than that in the film, didn't we?
Yeah, they really tried to highlight more Jurassic Park than World. So
Yeah,
just the slight changes were weird.
and like you said, there is no like which it sounded like it was something that they added in afterwards. The whole synopsis kind of thing that was added to the front of the film, that's not here in any way. So yeah, interesting. You can see all the different production drafts and everything that they've got there. Lots of stuff from May 2024 through October 2024. So they're working on it. And when did this movie come out? What year was that? Was it last year, 2025? So
Yep.
man. And this one does not feature the helicopter opening, right? So this is the bulldozer crushing the understory with its front end and leaves a trail of fresh concrete in its wake, paving over the jungle to expand. That's interesting, yeah. Bulldozer like bulldozing the trees and everything and leaving a concrete trail in its wake. Is that a thing? Like, is that a thing that I don't know about? Like some sort of machinery?
I don't know either.
But yeah, did I just read anything about InGen? Oh yeah, a helicopter with the InGen logo comes in for a landing. So at least with this script, it's not like, some other company or anything like that, right?
Yeah. And like even where
Yeah,
it says 2007, I think that gives a more
yeah.
clear timeline, especially for us lore crazy fans. Like 2007, is at least like 2 years into World being operational, so you kind of
Mhm.
get a sense of where things are going. I personally would have also, I feel like they wouldn't have done it, but I would have liked it if they could have, alluded to Wu doing some shadow operations. But
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a shame they didn't go too much deeper into things. I'm still looking forward to kind of running through this entire thing. Was there anything else that stands out? I don't want to keep you too long here since I know we're probably coming close to your time. But yeah, anything else that stands out before we
Um,
get to the end here?
I think someone also mentioned that there was a bit of a hint towards more chemistry between Loomis and Zora. I think it was kind
Hmm.
of around um, the time where they're kind of setting up the darts on the boat. Um, so just kind of add a little, a little bit of a romance kind of nod, but nothing like too overt. Um, I don't know if that's something that they were trying to dabble with.
Ooh, Zora puts a hand on his shoulder. He blushes at the contact. So yeah. Hey, we're able to find these things pretty easily when with this search button. I like that. I imagined it would be a much harder experience trying to sift through this, but yeah, Dr. Loomis, that is our kind of specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's interesting because I don't necessarily need it. Like I think they did a good job of establishing that let me explain what I'm talking about. The movie Twisters, there could have
Mhm.
been like a romance in that movie, but they just didn't actually get there. They kind of it's obvious that it's there, but like they don't go like into it. And
Yeah.
I don't even think there's really a romance here at all. Um uh, yeah, so I think if they had alluded to it, I'm sure they were just like, "No, let's just cut it out completely. We're not having them blush on the contact or anything." I kind of like them just as they are, as like kind of just people that work together and are familiar with each other, and it's nice. That's it.
hmm And I think like one other thing that people were also mentioning is like, um, uh, when Loomis is kind of describing the animals that they have to retrieve the samples from, I think they
Mm.
actually properly talk about
Yes.
pterosaurs and everything. So it's like, why did
Yes.
they change that dialogue
That
from
was
script
one
to
thing
screen?
I noticed right away when looking through this as well. Let me bring that up here. Pterosaurs. It says here Zora and Krebs cross the hall where Dr. Henry Loomis, American, mid-30s, supervises the dismantling and storage of a massive pterosaur skeleton. Oh, sorry, that's not the right part. It's got to be like the next one. Yeah, it says
Yeah.
Quetzalcoatlus, the largest pterosaur. And then did he say anything about the mosasaur? Mosasaurus, Titanosaurus, and Quetzalcoatlus, the largest pterosaur. Okay. So yeah, he didn't necessarily differentiate the mosasaur, but at least we did get a differential there for the pterosaur. So that would have definitely satisfied a lot of people, even with just the one.
hmm
So I was wondering, are the mints in here? Did you see that at all?
I
I don't
don't
see
think so.
anything about mint. Oh, he unwraps a mint. His
Oh, he did.
hands are shaking. Loomis pops the mint in his mouth and crunches it anxiously. Ready now? Yep. Okay, so it's a much quicker scenario here. It's not necessarily, hey, he's eating this thing for like a full minute.
Yeah.
And there's no let's see, because there's no other indication that there's mint mentioned in this other than these two instances here, which makes me think that he doesn't actually do it with the Titanosaur
And they have some
scene.
additional dialogue in the Titanosaur
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I think just talking about, you know, the the two that are mating, just some extra
Oh
silly
boy.
dialogue.
The Titanosaur. Oh yeah, here we go. Enormous. Well, I don't know what that was about, but that was at least one of the quotes. Uh, there, those two. Titanosaur necks are intertwined high above the grass. This is our chance. They're distracted. Distracted by what? Loomis sets off towards them. Zora follows. Uh, Bizarre animal cries echo, unlike any others we've heard, which is still true. Um,
Yep, there's the awkward dialogue.
yeah, there's some of that awkward dialogue. I was just looking through that right now. What's going on? Krebs says. Oh wow. Yeah, it's on. That's not something you see ever. That's kind of funny, actually. But yeah, I don't know how well that would have like blended with the rest of the film. The dinosaurs are making the smash. Leclerc says in English. Wow. Okay. All right, Leclerc. I see you. The bellows grow louder and stomping the earth more furious. Giant legs move around Loomis and Zora, threatening to stomp them to death. Load the dart. So yeah, I think the mints would have been before all this anyway. But yeah, I guess there's no Dr. Loomis. They move through the grass, swish, 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 really quiet, distressingly quiet. That's probably where it would have been like.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, it feels like extra dialogue here, and it was a good place also to add the classic Jurassic theme.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, it's so good. I really like the iterations there of Dinosaur Lovers, I think is what the track's called, right? And
Yeah.
there's another track there as well. But yeah, it's so good. Those two tracks are so good in that moment. But yeah, man, I'm excited to dive into this more. Um, but yeah, I was. Oh, the one other thing I was gonna look up was InGen because I wanted to see. It was mentioned 3 times here. The
Hmm.
Mosasaurus was tagged in captivity, and InGen continued to track it after its escape. Um, yeah, I
All right, they
wonder.
did highlight the date of birth for the
Ye-
mosasaur,
Oh yeah,
apparently.
look at that.
Yeah.
Date of birth 2/23/2007. Hmm, interesting. So that's the code next to it. So there, oh man, I don't know where that part or what I would look up, but there's a second part after they um let's see, what did they use? A dot, I think. Blue dot on the table. So let's see if we can search for dot real quick. Um because you remember there's a part in the film. Yeah, here it is. It says Kincaid points to an illuminated section of the map where the flashing blue dot has Essex next to it, along with a call sign. Immediately besides it, almost overlapping, is a red dot with a familiar code. And that's the date of birth of that mosasaur. So is that what we're supposed to be believing? Is this after? Yeah, this is after Ruben is on the boat. Because there's a moment in the movie that's kind of confusing. I'm like, are we supposed to believe there's 2 mosasaurs here because they point out the dots on the screen, and now there's 2 instead of just 1? Um, yeah, that was confusing to me while watching the film for sure. But it doesn't seem to. It does clarify it, I guess, a little bit with the fact that the 1 dot is the Essex, the other dot is the familiar mosasaur dot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's weird because it's a flashing blue dot here, the mosasaur is, but then it changes to a red dot here for some reason. So I don't know. The sonar or something's a little wonky. Maybe I don't know. It says maybe you're getting an echo off the boat. It's not an echo. That's 2 signals. So yeah, I don't know. Weird.
Hmm. Maybe it could be like proximity, They could have like a different color for if something's coming a little too fast at the boat.
Yeah, but it's weird that there's not 2 dots in the other scene. Like there should have been, right? If there's one for the boat
Yeah.
now, there should have been one for it before. So
True.
maybe because the dot was at a different location last time. Maybe that's why.
Hmm.
Maybe. But anyway, um, yeah, that's probably all I got for the script for now, but without really diving into it too much. But yeah, man, thanks for joining me tonight. Anything else you want to talk about here before I let you go?
Uh, yeah, nothing really going on. And yeah, I'm just working on a fun little fan project on the side. I'll reveal more about that later. And Brad is involved in that, so stay tuned.
Nice, man. Yeah. What are you expecting for Jurassic June? Last question here. Do you think anything's gonna happen in Jurassic June?
I'd like to pull that quote from Incredibles. It's like, I don't know, something amazing, I guess.
Now that would be incredible. Yeah, that would be incredible if something amazing did happen. I don't have a lot of hope at the moment, but hey, maybe they'll surprise us. They're not usually ones for surprising us during Jurassic June, but hey, you gotta hope, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, where can people find you when they want to talk about anything? You're always on top of like everything, all the latest stuff. So where can people find you when they want to?
Yeah, pretty much on all the things. Twitter, Instagram, Threads. I do have a Blue Sky, but I barely use it now because like there's no activity there. But yeah, you can pretty much find me on all the things. And then also should plug, because it's been a year since last year's thing. I have a creative YouTube channel, Table Reads, where we did a huge thing with many members of the Jurassic community, including Brad, for Jurassic World Resort TV, which I directed, kind of scripted, and just kind of did a whole bunch of stuff myself with it. I even animated Brad as Mr. DNA, which took a lot of time, but it was rewarding in the process. So go check that out also. We did a huge thing last year, just kind of celebrating 10 years of Jurassic World. Still timely because, like so much has happened since 2015. So it's worth celebrating.
Yeah, man. Thank you for including me in all that fun stuff, and absolutely go check that out. And yeah, I look forward to whatever else you're working on, and can't wait to hear more from you. So definitely go follow him, and we'll see you again. You'll have to come back sometime soon. I know last time, I don't know if it was last time or not, but we talked about the escape room. I just did an escape room probably over a month ago now, but I'm doing another one. I was thinking about you when I was booking these things. So I know we did the conversation about the Jurassic World Escape. Still there, still cooking. So go do that and go check out your review on the website. So thank you, man. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to you again soon.
All right.
All right. I'm going to continue on. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, there we go. Muslimil's there, and please go follow him and definitely check out all of his awesome work. But yes, I have one last thing we'll talk about here before we end the stream. But that is going to be this story popped up, and let's see, where did I put my notes? Here it is. So a few weeks ago, I don't remember when it was specifically, but we talked about Pteranodon flyers going down. So over at Islands of Adventure, there's been a few different things that have gone down recently. Jurassic World River Adventure went down earlier in the year, which we've known about that one for a little while. But we also did learn recently about Pteranodon flyers going down. And apparently, according to Inside Universal, Pteranodon's flyers. This is from March 2nd. And so maybe it was a little while ago when we actually talked about this. But it said it's closed for refurbishment through May 14th, 2026. So I know a lot of people actually do reach out about this ride all the time because it's such an interesting one that like people are really like waiting a long time to get onto this thing because a lot of people can't get onto it. Most people until they have a child or they know a child that is in the park with them, a family friend or whoever. But a lot of people cannot get on this. Big Jurassic fans are unable to get on this ride because you have to be with a child in order to go on this ride because it is technically, I guess, a kid's ride, but it doesn't really feel that way. But especially when you're on it. Somebody asked me about it recently. Oh, yeah, I won't mention because there's a conversation coming. But But yeah, it's a great ride, and it closed through May, but I checked it out over on Universal's website. Pteranodon Flyers, here we go. Where does it say it? Oh man, what the heck? So, all right, the website does not show it. I saw it on the app, which I don't know if I'm going to be able... Let me see if I can, like, take a screenshot or something like that, because I want to show you guys. The app states that it is not coming back for a little bit. Let me look this up for you. I thought it would be on there. But, yeah, it's weird. The website is certainly misleading. Open today, 9 a.m., or that's park hours. But it would make you believe that this is open today, right? When you're looking at this, I feel like you would look at this and be like, yeah, that's open. But it's not. So let me look up Pteranodon Flyers. I wish I could get this on... do I have that app? I might have that app on here. Let me take a look real quick. Universal. I might actually. Yeah, it looks like I do. Let me see if I'm logged in and I'll actually get that information for you. Gotta sign in. Hold on. Tickets have been found. Continue. Continue. Ask not to track. Okay. Not now. I'm in control. Go. Allow. Continue. Allow. Okay, go. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go back to the app now. And actually, I probably can turn it this way. Does that help? No, that doesn't help. All right. Bear with me. I'm almost there. I'm almost there for you. All right, so going back to the park here. Look at that. We're able to bring you all kinds of content here. And this one, how do you search? Is there a way to search? All right, let's look at attractions, and then we'll go to the search button there, and we'll type in Pteranodon Flyers. Closed. Well, it's 9:53, so it's probably closed. Okay, so Pteranodon Flyers will be temporarily closed until July 2nd, 2026, with reopening to guests on July 3rd, 2026. So the website's fairly misleading there. It feels like it's open, and the word was that, hey, this is going to be open in May. But guys, guess what? It's not opening until July 3rd, 2026. So I definitely wanted to let everybody know who had not seen it. If you're planning a trip out to Universal Orlando and you're going to Islands of Adventure and you have a kid with you, you won't be able to get on this until July 3rd, 2026 at least. So bummer news there. And still nothing for, let me see actually, since that changed, let me see if River Adventure changed. Closed November 20th, 2026. So that's probably that. I feel like that's the exact date that they said initially, probably or around about the same. Yeah, closed January 5th, and it will be opening November 20th, 2026. So that's going to be closed for still quite a while. But there you go. And I wonder if there is any information on. This is not an attraction, so let's change to dining. And let's see, Thunder Falls Terrace. No information there just yet. So that's closing, I think, sometime this year. I don't know what the time frame is. But for now, Pteranodon Flyers, July 3rd, 2026, not May. So I know May is almost up here. We're on the final stretch here of May. But yeah. Anyway, I didn't get to say hi to everybody in the chat here tonight. So what's up, Jim Halpert? How you doing? Dino Dean here. Hi. Resident Zeno. While we're waiting, anyone watch Spider Noir? No, I haven't gotten a chance to watch that yet. I'm very, very excited to watch that, though. M.I. Jadecraft. Hello. Casper Brick Productions just popping in to say hi. Hi. Cherry Blossom Fairy. Hi, guys. Jurassic Manila Productions, yeah. Kenner JP Toys, prices rising nearly double from Jurassic World to now. Interesting. If you say so. And Dino Dean says, when's the next podcast episode coming out? Good question. I don't know. I've recorded it. This is my, fourth recording today? No, fifth recording today. And I've got one more to go. One more recording to go. But I would expect the next episode to probably be releasing June 1st. I think that's probably the best bet. June 1st. Jurassic June. That's a good day to kick off Jurassic June. The 1st. June 1st. Next Monday. I think at this point, we're just like a monthly podcast because there's nothing going on. But I will say that Jurassic June, we'll have a bunch of episodes for you. I'm going to try to do weekly, if I can, on Jurassic June. But then maybe come July, maybe we'll be back. But it is the Jurassic Park 3 20th anniversary. Is that what it is? How many? What year? Yeah. No. 25th? Oh my God. Okay. 25th anniversary, I guess, of Jurassic Park 3. So we'll probably be covering a little bit of Jurassic Park 3 in July, Jurassic June next month, and hopefully getting some episodes out there that month. And then who knows after that. If there's anything out there, we'll talk about it. But please, since I have you here, absolutely at least go check out the last episode. All right? So please go check out the last one, which was with Steve Brasati, the paleontology consultant for Jurassic World Rebirth and Jurassic World Dominion. Go check that episode out, 437 on the feed. Connor O'Keefe talked with Steve Brasati all about his book, The Story of Birds, and Jurassic World Rebirth, the Spinosaurus, all kinds of fun stuff. So go check out that one. And you can find all that on the feed. And like I said, we did so much content, I think, for the Monarch Legacy of Monsters and a bunch of other big episodes this year already. So it's like, it had a lot going on. So I know the last 2 months have been a little quiet, but the Forcecast has been going strong. We got a lot of episodes over there, and I'm on that show every episode because I'm a co-host over there with Ryan. So go check out the Forcecast. If you've seen The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is, by the way, an awesome movie. I love it. Go check it out. Don't wait. Go watch that movie. It's hilarious. It's exciting. There's a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. Go check out that one, and then go check out our review over there. We're recording another show right after this. And then my other podcast, Grim Grinning Hosts, which we also did a Mandalorian and Grogu episode, coming out in a few days. But today, we released an episode about Sinners coming to Halloween Horror Nights 35. We talked all about what the Sinners house could potentially be. So please go check that out. We read from the press release. That's in our emails. There was also a Star Wars episode, Star Wars merch episode at the beginning of the month. And this podcast is all about theme parks and pop culture. So that's why we're talking about Star Wars for pop culture, Sinners for theme parks, because it's coming to Universal Orlando. We talked about a lot of other things in that episode too. Some fun surprises for me. So go check out that one. We've also recorded about Dollywood coming up sometime in June. And then, like I said, a Mandalorian and Grogu plus a Smuggler's Run review in that episode. So that's coming soon as well. Go check out all of that content over on all of the podcast feeds. Been working hard, getting a lot of podcasts out to you all. So hope you enjoy it. Got a lot more to record. If you have any ideas or any thoughts for what you want to see from the Jurassic Park podcast coming up this month, Jurassic June, let me know. Let me see if I can put this here up on the screen. Follow us and go ahead, leave a voicemail if you want to. You can call our voicemail line at 732-825-7763. You can leave a voicemail there about any Jurassic topic you want. Give us a call. If you want to know our thoughts, we'll put it into an episode. And then you can also record on your phone and just email that over to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Or you can type your thoughts out and we'll read it there as well. Find me over on Letterboxd at Brad Jost, the Jurassic Park Podcast, over on Instagram at Jurassic Park Pod. Don't really do the blue sky thing like Muzimo was saying. There's just not really a lot going on over there. But we are kind of on Threads, I guess, because I post on Instagram. It kind of goes there too. Maybe kind of on Facebook, but not really. But anyway, go check us out all over the place and find me over on Letterboxd. And I appreciate you all for watching this one. I was glad that Muzimo was able to join me for this episode to talk a little bit about the script for Jurassic World Rebirth and the alternate takes and things that are in that script. Maybe we can discuss it in more detail in an episode coming up soon. But thank you very much. And yes, a Dino Score episode for JP3 probably will be coming in the month of July. So stay tuned there. And thank you very much, everybody. As always, please do your best to stay kind, stay Jurassic, and enjoy. Have a good one, everybody.